Hi guys and welcome back to Sports Gamer HD and welcome back to the QPR series. Today going to recap the end of the season, or the first season as a whole. There's no gameplay. I just carried on playing, to be honest. It was a dead game, nothing to play for, so not going to show you the Fulham game. There's no real point, I didn't think, so I just got to the end of the season. So I've sort of just given away no Europa League football. So we'll have a look at the fixtures, what went down. Last one was against Liverpool, so I changed the goal scorers. Right, drew against Liverpool 0-0. Nothing to say there really. Then we lost to Manchester City 1-0. Now the goal came from Julian Lescott, and it was like an 89th minute header. We did so well, we almost got a point from that game, but it was a cruel goal. But then we bounced back and drew 1-1 with Arsenal. Thomas Vermaelen getting our own goal for us, so that was not too bad. So that was, what, 2 points from a possible 9? Now, which isn't great, but I was expecting nothing, so we almost won a couple of games, so not too bad at all. Then we were terrible and lost 2-0 to Swansea, and that really did put an end to any distant Europa League hopes I had. But then we responded and beat Reading 2-1. Edmilson and Bobby Zamora both getting on the goal sheet. Got to get my words out. For this game, I changed the tactic, actually for the remainder of these 3 games. I changed the tactic to the 4-4-2 diamond, so 2 strikers up front and both of them got the goals, and it worked again in the Fulham game. We drew 0-0 with West Ham, so not great actually, because they're really low they were. Then we beat Fulham 3-0 on the last day of the season. Bobby Zamora, Edmilson and Adel Tarap getting the goals. The change in the formation allowed Adel Tarap to come back into it, and in his advanced playmaker, inside forward, sort of advanced midfielder role sort of thing. So yep. So all that resulted in us finishing 11th, which is not good, to be honest. Well, it is, but it isn't. I was hoping, as I said in the last episode, for a top half finish. We got more or less, central midfield, central table, middle of the table, because obviously we were 10th and now we're 11th. So bottom half, strictly speaking, but not great. But when you look at the points difference, it was what? Between me and Newcastle, we were dead on points. It was just the goal difference, and Liverpool was just 2 points in it. So we could have easily finished in the top half. So I'm not too disappointed. What is good is that we were so far ahead of relegation. Teams that went down were Reading and Southampton, as you can see. Let's just get the table up bigger. There we go. Reading, Southampton, Norwich all went down. Champions were Manchester City, Chelsea, Tottenham. Made up the Champions League groups. Europa League was Arsenal and Manchester United. And why is there only 3 Champions League teams? Why is there only 3 Champions League teams? It's the end of the season, all the games are played. I don't know why that is. I'm going to assume Arsenal got the final Champions League spot. Manchester United finished in 5th, getting the Europa League spot as well. I'm not sure what happened in the cups. Can't really remember, to be honest. FA Cup, who won? Norwich won the FA Cup. Capital One Cup. Arsenal won the Capital One Cup on extra time. Anything else to tell of note? Who's coming up from the Championship? Stages. No. Stages, there we go. Norwich, Bolton got promoted, and it's Watford, Leicester City playoff final, as you can see. As a Leicester fan, I hope Leicester City win that. I would like to play them next year. With regards to the squad. Yeah. Because we have the debt, as I said in the last episode, we aren't going to get much in the way of spending money, or I highly doubt we will. We are now described as a debt-ridden club in the media, so that's never a good sign. Which is really annoying, considering that in real life QPR got a very wealthy owner in Tony Fernandes, and the game does not represent that, which is annoying. And what's even more annoying for me is that I've downloaded the LFC Marshall starter update thing, and he has increased the financial input that Fernandes puts in. So if I had waited and done that update, I could have had a better situation. But it is what it is. I've got what I've got to play with now, so I have to make the best of it. But what my plans are for the squad really is, it still stands by and large. I want to reduce the age, get rid of some of these old players. I mean, from the face of it, just looking at it now, I mean, the goalkeeping situation is fine, not a problem there. Obviously, I do want Jack Butland, but if I can't afford him this summer, then I will just have him as a long-term target. It's not an immediate thing, that's what I'm trying to say. Fullbacks, do need fullbacks. I need right backs and I need left backs. Bosbinger's 30 years old, good for another season or 2. Luke Young will be leaving, he's 33 years old, and I'll just get rid of him. Centre backs, I'm on the lookout for one good centre-back. I think left-backs, Fabio's going back to Manchester United, so we're losing our left-back there, and Armand Traore is defensively not good enough, so we'll need at least one left-back, probably two, depending on what I want to do with Armand Traore. I'm not sure yet. Midfield, with regards to the midfield, assuming I'm going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 formation, which I probably will, and then I'll rotate to the counter-attack against the bigger teams. That requires us to have two creative midfielders and a ball-winning midfielder. Now, for that, obviously, you'd look at this and think you're fine because you've got Skellenblad, but he's pissed off. He's not very good, to be honest. It was a bad buy on my part. I don't think he's very good. He was better on previous FMs. This year, he's rubbish, so he will be leaving us. Obviously, players are going back to their parents' clubs, so we're not keeping Marco Verratti in the creative midfielder role, so we will need at least one midfielder, possibly two, if we can throw in a ball-winning midfielder as well. And then the strike wingers are fine. Strike force, vastly rebuild the strike force. I mean, the only one I'm going to keep is Admilson. I've got a couple, obviously I've not got many there on that list because I've got them all in the reserves. I've been slowly releasing their contracts when their price comes down. Andy Johnson, Jay Bothroyd, DJ Campbell's already going. They're all going to be leaving us. Wilfried Zaha's going back, but I'll probably start to use him as a winger, inside forward more, I think, because I think his stats generally suit that better. And I'll probably loan him out again if his stats haven't improved, which I expect them not to have improved, so I will probably loan him back out again to some club, or no, I probably will actually. I was just going to say, or maybe keep him, but I'm not going to keep him because I want him to improve as quick as possible. And if he's not going to play for me, then he's not going to develop because he won't be getting game time. If that made any sense, well done, because I don't follow what I just said, but oh well. So yeah, what I'm going to ask you guys to tell me though is leave me in the comments any thoughts on strikers who are dirt cheap in Season 2 that you want me to get or look at trying to get hold of, I think. What strikers, left backs, right backs, generally all the positions I just said, just leave me in the comments what your thoughts on, who you'd like me to get, what you thought of this season, the series so far, if you like it, if you want to change the way I do the updates, if you want me to do 6 month updates, or yeah, 6 months updates, or keep the way I am. So that we've got to do that. Then we got to do transfers. Any recommendations you guys have for me? Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I should have made a list because I can't remember off the top of my head what I want you guys to tell me. So that's what I want from you guys. So in the comments, write your comments down now. Leave a like on this video for finishing mid-table, which is not too bad. Not great, as I said earlier, but not too bad. And what do you think I'll get as a transfer budget next season? I probably won't play this until I've updated this one because I do want to get your suggestions on transfers. So yeah. Anything else? Next season, my objective is definitely Europa League. I think we're gonna have to go for Europa League, regardless of what budget I get. It's got to be the target. I've got to keep progressing, and I don't want to be. I personally don't want to be a mid-table team. I want to be pushing Europa League, then on to Champions League, and then competing for the title as fast as possible. So next season, the objective is, for me personally, Europa League football. I'll probably tell the board in the game it'll be whatever the lowest option is, unless the transfer budget is a remarkable increase for the next option up. But you know, because I don't get sacked, I'll tell them I've got low expectations. But my objective is Europa League football. So that's for next season. What are we doing for time? Because I can look at some transfers. 9 minutes. Keep going. Right. Regards to the list at the moment, what's available? It's pretty poor. Not great at all. When you think I'm looking for strikers, really, it's not great. There's nothing really of any real quality available, and free agents, contracts expiring in 3 months. There's nothing there. Muriel, I'd love to get this guy, but he is injured for 8 to 9 months, so that's no good. He would fix some of the problems. He's a very good player. He's brilliant on FIFA, but he's very good on the game as well. So yeah, there's nothing much available, to be honest. If I went to the unrealistic targets, you get Neymar, Loic Remy, Luis Gustavo, Ashley Young, Javi Garcia, Isco, Jose Calderon, Gulaman Haro or Waro, Theo Walcott. Seriously, look, I can't even say his name, but him, the Polish guy. Didier Yakonan. So just look at the quality of players you can pick up. If we were just a bit better, even Europa League, where we could get some of these guys, it's just not fair. But we've got to shop at Co-op or Cost Cutters. Not Audi yet. We're not quite that bad financially, but we've got to shop somewhere quite low, which is quite annoying. And I thought I did have his Julio Baptista, but again, he's an advanced playmaker. His age and his wages make him a no-go. This guy, I like Bruno Cesar. I do like him. I think he's a very good player, but whether he'll get a work permit or not, I doubt he'll get a work permit. Unlikely to be granted here, so not going to be going after him, which is kind of annoying. Max Gradle, I remember him from playing at Leicester. He's good, but he's not what we need, obviously. He's a winger. Just very poor what's available. Very, very poor, which is really, really, really annoying. Really annoying. Kia, I might get him as a centre-back to back up, I think. I might be able to get him on the cheap as well. But that will do, really, for this episode. Nothing really much to show without me rambling. So, as I said earlier, leave a thumbs up for this for mid-table finish. And let me know in the comments what your transfer targets are, what you think I should be going after. So strikers, fullbacks, midfield, central midfielders, creative ones, and a ball-winning midfielder. That's about it, really. Just let me know what you think on that front. Remember, I'm not going to have much in the way of money to spend, like next to nothing to spend. So have to be really, really cheap. And for Season 2, remember, follow me on Twitter and Twitch TV. Description. I'll leave the links to those in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. I've just played up to the budgets announcement, just curiosity to see what we do get, and it's not good, guys. But first of all, as you can see, we've got 2 new sponsorship deals. One is now for less. The main kit sponsor is for 3.2 million when last year it was for 5 million. So terrible business there. And then a new additional kit sponsor, which is not changed at all. So we are now making 3.66 million when we were making 5.5 million. So what's going on there with regards to business sense, I don't know. Remember, this is a Premier League club, so in real life, realism, Premier League clubs, their sponsorship deals are getting bigger and bigger, which is driving the the finances in football, particularly in the Premier League. So that's not realistic. And then get ready for this one. This is brilliant. This made me laugh. So our current wage budget is 1.1 million per week, which I'm not spending. And then our transfer budget is £251,000. Just 251,000. I've tried editing it. That's it. That's the maximum. We are currently spending just under the budget for the wages. Actually, I'm spending the wages, but I'm not, because the players are going to be leaving the club, so the wages are going to be less than that ultimately. So, yeah, that's it. That's what we've got to play with. So that's actually quite annoyed me, because that is not realistic at all for what QPR are like in real life. Unless SI knows something the rest of the world do not know about Tony Fernandes and Queen's Park Rangers, something magical that nobody else in the media or anything knows, that they are actually terrible, financially terrible. It's not realistic. That's not realistic at all. And that's really annoyed me that we've got such a low budget after having a terrible budget in Season 1. So now I'm on the lookout for a new job, to be honest. The ones I look at the moment like are Schalke, possibly Roma, possibly Lille, Angie, maybe, Zenit, PSG, of course, Manchester United, of course, the big teams. But anything big, anything good enough, big teams I'm looking at now. So I hopefully will come back in the next episode with a new team, to be honest, because this is ridiculous that I've got no money at all to spend. So that's it, really. I like challenges, I do, but that is just stupid. That really is. I want realism, and that's not realistic. So that's a bit of a rant over. I'm adding this onto I plan to add this on to the end of the season update. I don't want to make another video, I don't think. So yeah, that's really annoyed me. It made me laugh. £251,000 for a team that's constantly spending money and has got big plans for building a new stadium, which isn't cheap, of course, anywhere, but particularly in London, they want to build a new stadium. They're constantly buying good players, huge wages on players like Dribble Cisse, and they give me £250,000. So leave a like for, particularly leave a like on this video for £250,000. I'll come back to you hopefully with a new club. So until then, I will see you guys next time.